as you were also talking, you reminded me of a TV show I was watching when I was in the States last, and the TV show was called Undercover Billionaire, and it was about a billionaire who had like multiple billions and said, I've always said to my friends that if you put me anywhere in the U.S., give me 90 days, a phone, and a beat up pickup truck, and I bet you I can make have $1 million business, have $1 million valuation business, right? And he's like, so he used his own money and he made it, like bought a crew and went and did this experiment. Um, and what really struck me about that period of time when he was in there in the 90 days was he was very honest about, look, I know business, I know I can create, but if I don't, I'm coming here with just a beat up pickup truck and a cell phone. If I don't have my housing situation and my food situation taken care of, I can't even really even get into the business created. So let me go first and go and say, for the next 90 days, how much do I need to set aside to be able to not have to worry again about any living expenses?
Yeah.
Right. And he made that really real. He's like, this is just the number that I need. And I'll do whatever it takes for me to get that money in so that that's done. And then I can go create a business. But like right now, I just need cash flow to take care of these expenses so that I have a budget. And like he was living out of his car for a good period of time. So it's like, so these things actually, as you were talking, there was a part of me that was like, I wonder if this is about, if she's in that stage where it's like she's trying to create a business, but whatever the internal house is for you, the internal thing, has that been built yet, such that you feel the freedom that you're looking for it? And if that's the case, if not, then would the next 90 days, like what if you took they always spent like a week or two like on it. It wasn't like the entire period of time, but would you want to spend time in the next 90 days specifically creating for you to feel that level of abundance when it comes to, or freedom, or whatever it is, security, even, because that word hasn't shown up, but from that perspective, right? The last thing here, so there's something that you said, were the two sentences. You do not believe you're worthy of the abundance you previously had. That one, I need, like, that's something that just needs to be unpacked. Should you find it to be meaningful? Like, I can be there in the worthiness conversation. And I think that there's sometimes there's two ways to go in coaching. One is, let's have a deep exploration as to why you feel that way. And another thing is, okay, given that you feel this way, what do we want to create from there? Right. I think in this conversation, I think I'd rather be with you in the latter period of this all. Like I think it's great that we've acknowledged it, but I don't know if like helping you feel worthy about it is the same as like would serve you as much as create into a place where that becomes irrelevant in a sense. And I think it's a larger conversation I want to have. And if you feel like it's really important, we can. That's not important. If it's timely to have that conversation now, then we will, right? But I'm not brushing it under the rug. I'm holding it up to the light and saying, one of this might be a shadow thing to look at, and the other one might be the actual object, So like, which one do we want to look at? And then the last thing here then is be careful not to burn out again. And we have the burnout again. And I like, to me, that is a space. If there was one place that I could continue to spend time with you on in terms of creation, it will be in the burnout space. That's the space that I would go, because that's where it feels like scarcity truly shows up. It's like, I think you know how to create. I think you know how to create financially for yourself and for your family. I think that what you may not know how to create is how do you do it in a way that doesn't burn you out.
Yes.
So I'm going to pause. There's a lot that I reflected back. I reshaped some things, and so forth. Let me just make sure that we're staying in the same. We're seeing things shoulder to shoulder here. What resonated? What felt off? And where should we go from here?
Okay. I really like. Let's go back to, you were talking about financial independence, abundance, freedom, and creativity. And I wrote financial what I didn't mean financial creativity. I was kind of answering your questions there, and that is a space that where I can continue to explore. Definitely after our conversation, it's not something I necessarily need to spend time on here, but this distinction was interesting because it resonated for me in the respect that it was like, oh yeah, it's not about being rich, it's not about financial abundance, it's about that sense of being able to be creative, being able to, and you know, and I think it's connected to what you were saying, the housing and food situation, you know, that's sorted. Now you see, ironically enough, the housing and food situation is sorted. You know, it's like, I don't have to earn a lot of money at the moment. I have a husband. I'm in a situation where, you know, together our housing and our food situation is glorious. It's not a problem. But it's, I guess what hit me with you was that you were talking about this internal, the feeling that I have around being able to contribute there with that again, be a part of creating that sense of, you know, I'm a part of creating that housing and food, that good situation that we have. And yeah, I think it's not, I think it's that felt that there was something there. And again, I was also thinking it's not just the housing and food situation. I think it's like this sense of housing and food situation, and there's some money in the bank. I'm saving, something is happening there. And it's not about, oh, I'll be happy when I have 5 million in the bank. It's not about a large sum of money. I think it's about being in this process, that this is up and running and it is moving, and it is, you know, moving and flowing in whatever way it moves and flows, but it's moving, it's happening. And it's always happening. And as an entrepreneur, you know, you earn more some days and less other days, and that's not, you know, it's not like I'm looking for the, I have to have a salary and I'm saving every month. It is this feeling of, I'm in the flow, I'm creating, money's coming in, money's coming out, I'm part of the housing and food situation. And I'm also, you know, I have a portfolio that is growing, that it's doing its stuff, and I can be creative with. It's expanding my possibility to be creative. And I think, you know, when you were saying that, it was that was where I was landing in my happy feelings. That was interesting. That was like, and it wasn't being, oh, I want to be financially independent from my husband. It's like, no, actually, that's not really interesting for me. You know, that's
Not where the joy lives, right there, right?
no, it's a different thing. So that was that section. And then just to finish off as well, when you, or these two things, worthiness and burnout. I think you're right there. Not, it felt good as well when you said, you know, we can have a conversation around worthiness, and it's like, nah, not right now. Yeah, there's something I've been working with, and yes, but not right now. I would love to have a conversation where we're talking about from where I feel creating. That's good, you know, not the why are you feeling like this, but what, you know, you are feeling this, right? Let's create from here. That's, for me, feels so much more powerful today, and something that I can, you know, I'm it's almost kind of like I'm fed up with being in the swamp of analyzing why I'm worthy or not worthy. That's not moving me on. It's almost like you've got stuck there, Philippa. Now is actually the time to do take the steps out of that swamp. And then that was really interesting what you said as well about the burnout and the scarcity, linking those together, because of course that's it. That's completely it. You know, that fall was kind of like a lesson to me or I took it, that was the story I told myself, is that, oh no, there isn't abundance in the world. There isn't, there is a stop somewhere. There is it's not enough. And that it could be there that something is happening here, that I didn't have enough energy. I didn't have enough energy for a long time to even read a whole article, let alone a book. My brain was so frazzled. So then it became scarce. Yes, this sort of scarcity, I think, very much being in this really weird sensation of living in scarcity. Yes, in a world of there are limitations all the time to what I am capable of doing. And so now, when I feel, and have been like this for a couple of years now, when I feel that I'm, people say, oh, it takes as many years for you to burn out and to recover and blah, blah, blah. And it's taken me years, but it's like, I feel I'm back now. It feel like this is, my brain is at max capacity again. I've healed my brain, I've healed my body, and I've learned an enormous stuff along the way, so that I'm not going to land there again. However, if we're going to take the word worry, which was really great that you picked it up on it, the worry of people around me is infectious, and then becomes my worry, and will pop up occasionally. And especially when, I've gone all into something, and there'll be we're worried, or, and it will pop up, and it's like, you know what? Didn't need to hear that. I'm actually quite good at sabotaging myself. So I don't need you to come along and help me.
I got you on that one. I got you there. Yeah.
So there you go. That's the feedback. Love it. Really love it. So much. Oh my goodness. So much to dive into there.
So let's do this here then. First, let's breathe on that. Let's breathe all this in real quick. I just like to give us a chance to reset ourselves, check on the peekaboo game, see where we are. Just breathe in, a deep breath in, deep into the center of you. Feel yourself not just grounded, but feel yourself centered. Wherever you happen to be in alignment with you. And let's take that time, and I'll do the same. And if you can, allow the joy within you to continue to grow from this centered place. Maybe you're helped out by the laughter of a young child laughing in the background. Bring that in and allow that to come in. When you're ready, then let's go ahead. We'll continue from there.
It's the World Joy Movement. Yeah. What was your greatest insight from this conversation? And if you want to come and be a part of a conversation like this live, it's really simple. Just go to beworldjoy.com and come introduce yourself, and let's take the conversation to the next level, because you're there now. All right, let's play.